Local small businesses struggling to keep their doors open. What they say they need right now to stay in business. Tragedy in North Tulsa. How a family is honoring the lives of two people lost in our city's latest homicides. Graffiti found where Tulsa's Black Lives Matter mural once was. We're finding out what the city's doing about it.
Covering news that matters. Fox 23 News This Morning starts right now.
Good morning, I'm Michelle Lynn. The time now 4:30. We're getting closer to the weekend. So many of us have been wondering about another stimulus package, what small business owners say they need from the government right now. We'll get to that coming up, but first, meteorologist Michael Sager is in the Fox 23 Severe Weather Center tracking more great weather ahead.
Yeah, we've got another good one for today. Stepping outside this morning, temperatures mostly running into the 60s in about 10 minutes.
As the pandemic stretches on, small business owners tell us they need help from the federal government.
A great economy starts with small businesses.
They're hoping for another stimulus package to bring relief. Fox 23's Naomi Kidd is live near downtown with why some business owners say they desperately need the money.
Before they get help. Coming up in the next half hour, I'm breaking down some of the specifics of this survey and what business owners say they need to see right now. I'll have that part of the story for you at 5. Reporting live downtown, covering news that matters, I'm Naomi Kidd, Fox 23 News.
At 4:32 today, you'll see a memorial set up outside a North Tulsa home just 24 hours after a double homicide. We brought you live breaking news right here yesterday morning as police investigated. Later in the day, we learned the victims are Chantel Dean and her 16-year-old niece, Nevaeh Alexander. Fox 23's Scott Martin is live showing us how the family is remembering the two.
Yeah, Michelle, as we drove by this morning, you could see some candles setting outside the home, according to police. Now, coming up in the next half hour, the arrest report, it goes into graphic detail about what unfolded early yesterday morning. We'll have that part of the story for you in the next half hour. Reporting live in North Tulsa this morning, covering news that matters, I'm Scott Martin, Fox 23 News.
Tulsa police identified the victim in Tuesday afternoon's homicide in North Tulsa. They tell us 44-year-old Tully Clark died. Officers say there was an ongoing fight between a couple of neighbors and someone inside one of the homes who likely did not live there opened fire, shooting 2 men, including Clark. Police are still searching right now for that shooter. Broken Arrow police are investigating an apparent case of stand your ground. We first told you Tuesday night about what happened near 121st and Elm. Police say a man broke into a home and was shot twice by the homeowner. Investigators say this was not a random break-in. The suspect and the victim knew each other.
Not a stranger crime, and no one's in danger in the neighborhood or in the community because of this incident.
Police say they are still investigating. So far, the homeowner isn't charged. The suspect is now out of intensive care. Police say he'll be taken to jail as soon as he gets out of the hospital. At 4:35, let's go now to the impacts of COVID-19 across the state. Here are the latest numbers from the State Department of Health. The state announced more than 1,000 new confirmed cases Wednesday. We've seen more than 94,000 cases since March. 9 more Oklahomans died from the virus. All were at least 65 years old. There are more than 13,000 active cases statewide. More than 1,700 of them are right here in Tulsa County. Governor Stitt and state leaders are changing our state's pandemic response. We told you COVID-19 hospitalizations topped 700 for the first time this week. Officials say they are talking with hospital CEOs every day about hospitals' ability to handle the high COVID-19 patient load.
We understand that hospitals we understand they're stressed with COVID patients, and it's tough because this is the situation. I think everybody has felt this.
Each hospital has a plan for handling a surge in cases. State leaders say they are prepared to provide more hospital beds. The latest White House report says Oklahoma's 10th in the nation for new cases and 5th in test positivity rates. Several counties are in the red zone, including Tulsa, Rogers, Osage, and Muskogee counties. This report urges the use of face masks, especially indoors, and says gatherings should be limited to prevent spreading the virus. A marijuana dispensary is picking up the pieces after another burglary. It happened around 2 yesterday morning at Canatopia in South Tulsa. Look at the surveillance video. You can see thieves. One of them used a sledgehammer to break the glass front door. Once inside, staff says they broke glass counters, but they didn't get much because all the main products were locked up.
You check in through the window, and nobody makes it back to the back without being checked in. So we'd have all your information.
Police have not made any arrests. At 4:37, on to You Decide 2020, the debate in Salt Lake City last night between Vice President Mike Pence and California Senator Kamala Harris. They covered a wide range of topics from coronavirus to foreign policy. Here's what they each had to say about coronavirus.
Whatever the vice president is claiming the administration has done, clearly it hasn't worked. When you're looking at over 210,000 dead bodies in our country, American lives that have been lost, families that are grieving that loss.
But when you say it hasn't worked, when Dr. Fauci and Dr. Birx and our medical experts came to us in the second week of March, they said if the president didn't take the unprecedented step of shutting down roughly half of the American economy, that we could lose 2.2 million Americans. Now, that's the reality.
They also covered the economy, climate change, potentially overturning Roe versus Wade, and the controversial case of Breonna Taylor's death. The deadline to register to vote in the November election is tomorrow. We've told you if you're 17 right now, you can register to vote if you'll turn 18 on or before Election Day, November 3rd. You can find everything you need right now on the Fox 23 News app. Just tap on You Decide 2020. Tulsa City councilors are looking at options for a number of vacant lots, which could lead to more places for people to live. They talked about what they call the missing middle. It's a term for residential buildings that are somewhere between single-family homes and mid-rise apartment buildings. Those buildings could be garden homes or bungalows.
There's going to be some developers who really will stay out of the infill space and really prefer to do large neighborhood subdivisions, but I think we've seen a lot that are doing some of this infill work as well.
If zoning codes are tweaked, you could see tiny homes and other alternative residential buildings popping up across the city. Great weather again this morning, even warmer to start your day. Meteorologist Michael Sagers in the Fox 23 Severe Weather Center. I told you when I saw you first thing this morning, I don't feel like I've lavished enough praise on you.
I'll take the credit. Even though I really can't, I will take it this time around.
It's been so nice, Michael. And usually we see a roller coaster in October, but just to have a nice long stretch of weather has been great.
Yeah, we can have some warm weather in October, but it typically, like you said, is a bit more of a roller coaster ride with our temperatures in about 10 minutes.
Don't want to hear about that cold front. 4:41 is the time.
Even though it's a bad day for them, we're there to help them, and it really, you see that kind of that human spirit come out of people, and it helps.
On the road yet again, the Fox 23 Severe Weather Team is talking with Tulsa's Task Force 1 as they make their third trip to the coast to help with hurricane recovery.
Well, I think most of us are a little bit out of our comfort zone. We're not used to microphones. Usually we stand on stage and sing with our voices unamplified over an orchestra.
Take me out to the opera, how the Tulsa Opera is transitioning its first full production since March to One Oak Field. A makeshift Black Lives Matter mural on a newly repaved road. Why one store owner says repainting this message is hurting more than helping. 4:44, the city of Tulsa just removed a second Black Lives Matter message spray painted in the Greenwood district. This comes after the city removed that large message Monday to do street repairs. Fox 23's Amanda Harry is live in the Greenwood district with how long it took the city to remove these letters.
Michelle, the city removed it very quickly. It was only up for a couple of hours. Live in Tulsa, covering news that matters. Amanda Harry, Fox 23 News.
The Tulsa Opera is kicking off the season tomorrow with the classic Rigoletto. This is different. The opera is going to be performed at One Oak Stadium with a baseball theme. How fun. The performers even have their own baseball cards. They're moving the opera outdoors to hold a socially distanced, safe performance.
I think it's a celebratory atmosphere being at a ballpark. It's casual, it's exciting. I think that it's going to feel kind of healing in a way for a lot of us.
The artistic director says they hope to use the ball field for future shows even after the pandemic is behind us. At 447, St. Francis Hospital and the Warren Clinic are offering drive-through flu shot clinics this month. In Tulsa, the clinic near 66th and Yale offers shots every weekday from 8 to 8 through November 6th. You can also swing by Saturdays from 10 to 6. Muskoge's St. Francis Hospital is holding clinics as well. Anyone 9 or older can get the flu shot in these drive-through clinics. It's $40, but it is covered by most health insurance plans. Happening today, nearly 60 people will be naturalized in Tulsa's first drive-in ceremony. The events usually happen in the courthouse. Fox 23's shown you several socially distanced ones this year. Today's ceremony will be at the Admiral Twin Drive-In. 60 people from 24 different countries will become American citizens. It's happening at 11:30 today. And my goodness, you could not ask for better weather for it. Meteorologist Michael Sagers in the Fox 23 Severe Weather Center tracking a warmer start this morning.
Yeah, we're off to a great start to this morning. No problems at all as you're heading out the door. Any outdoor plans? Here's with some cooler temperatures moving in at that time. We'll break down what we've got out there as you're stepping outside, getting the kids ready for school in about 10 minutes.
The time now is 4:50.
You thought you had gotten to a place where maybe you had some closure and could move on.
Absolutely.
A woman sentenced to more than 100 years in prison could soon walk free. Why? A recent Supreme Court decision has one family outraged.
We aren't going to go away. We haven't for 9 years.
If they stole this memorial 100 more times, would you keep replacing it?
Absolutely.
Just adding to their heartbreak, the memorial honoring the life of a murder victim that one family says keeps being stolen over and over again.
And I could tell he wished he was on that bus. And I had to stop. I really had to stop and say hi to him because we missed him so much.
A Tulsa child distance learning missing. Classmates, what the bus driver did to make his day. The time now 4:54. Oklahoma's getting more than $1.6 million in grants to improve services for crime victims. The money will improve technology and law enforcement training and will provide crime victims with emergency and transitional shelter. They'll also be able to fund programs for child abuse victims and research projects on elder abuse. Tulsa Transit wants to take you to the farmers market. They're offering a free route from 7 to 11 Saturday morning. People in Turley and North Tulsa are invited to take a free ride to the farmers market near Admiral and Lewis. They'll have a temporary bus stop set up at the farmers market entrance and another in front of Circle Cinema. The route will run every half hour. Happening today, Mother Road Market's hosting an art crawl for Hispanic Heritage Month. The shops at Mother Road Market will join the Kendall Whittier Second Thursday Art Walk. You can check it out tonight from 5 to 7. 4:55, Tulsa small businesses struggling to keep their doors open. The help they say they need right now to survive the pandemic. Tragedy in North Tulsa. A woman and her 16-year-old niece shot to death. We're live showing you how that family is honoring their lives this morning.
So far, so good as you're stepping outside on this Thursday morning. We'll take you through the rest of your morning drive in about 3 minutes.